She laughed in my face and said I wasn't a catch. So I downloaded a dating app right in front of her. Within days, she was crying, begging, and watching me walk away forever. I'm 29, male named Garrett, and for the past 3 years, I had been in what I thought was a serious, committed relationship with a woman named Heather. We had been living together for 2 of those years, sharing rent, responsibilities, and supposedly our lives. But somewhere along the way, the spark that was supposed to hold us together had fizzled out, replaced by a cold, constant underlying disrespect that I had somehow taught myself to accept. It wasn't that we fought every day or screamed at each other. It was the quiet kind of neglect that eats away at you without you realizing how much it's hollowing you out. I had been ignoring the red flags for a long time, making excuses for her behavior, convincing myself that all relationships go through rough patches and that I just needed to be patient. Last Sunday was our anniversary, 3 years together. I wanted it to be special. Weeks earlier, I had made reservations at an Italian restaurant she had mentioned months ago, casually in passing. I remembered that conversation because she rarely showed interest in doing things together, and I thought this would be a way to rekindle something between us. I arrived early, dressed nicely, feeling a mixture of excitement and nerves. I sat there at the table, declining the waiter's offers to order appetizers, watching couples around me laugh, share meals, and actually look happy together. Heather showed up an hour late. No text, no call, no apology. She slid into the booth as if she had just walked into the living room after a trip to the kitchen. She mumbled something about traffic while scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me. The waiter came back, and I tried to pretend nothing was wrong. I always did. Dinner was more of the same, me trying to spark conversations, asking about her day, her work, anything, and her giving one-word answers while taking selfies and updating her Instagram story. When the bill arrived, she didn't even make the half-hearted gesture of reaching for her wallet like she used to. She just kept scrolling, leaving me to pay yet again. On the way back to the car, I finally said something. I told her that it would be nice if she seemed interested in our anniversary or in us at all. She rolled her eyes, snorted, and said, "Seriously? You're going to be that guy?" I asked, "What guy?" She replied, "The needy boyfriend who needs constant attention." It's not cute, Garrett. I was stunned. Wanting my girlfriend to put her phone down during our anniversary dinner is needy? She sighed dramatically. God, you're so dramatic. This is why Melissa's boyfriend is so much better. He doesn't whine about every little thing. Melissa was her best friend, and for the past year, she had developed this habit of constantly comparing me to whoever Melissa was dating at the time. Last month, I wasn't spontaneous enough because Todd had surprised Melissa with Coachella tickets. The month before, I wasn't ambitious enough because Jake had just made partner at his firm. It was never about me as a person. It was always about how I measured up to someone else. That night, I told her plainly that I deserved better treatment than being ignored. That's when she laughed. Not a polite, nervous chuckle. A full, belly-shaking laugh that made her wipe tears from her eyes. "What? You think you're some kind of catch? Please. You're lucky I even give you the time of day." Something in me shifted right then. It was like a switch flipped in my mind. I pulled out my phone at the next red light, downloaded Bumble, and started filling out my profile right in front of her. She watched, mouth hanging open, asking, "What are you doing?" "Finding out if I'm a catch," I said calmly. "You seem pretty confident I'm not, so this should be entertaining for you." She tried to grab my phone, but I pulled it away. She called me childish. I told her I wasn't whining anymore. I was exploring my options. By the time we got home, I had uploaded my photos, written a bio, and set my preferences. Matches started rolling in before we even reached our apartment. 3 matches in the elevator. 2 more on the walk to our door. Heather's face got redder with each notification ping. By morning, I had 73 matches. At breakfast, she tried to pretend nothing had happened, cooking eggs and humming. I casually mentioned that I had been talking to Sophie, a pediatric nurse who loved hiking, and that we were grabbing coffee on Thursday. The plate she was holding slipped from her hands and smashed on the floor. Over the next few days, She cycled through crying, yelling, and love bombing. She bought lingerie, cooked dinners for the first time in months, suggested romantic trips. I told her I already had dates lined up Thursday through Sunday. Sophie for coffee, Emma for drinks, Valerie for the farmer's market, Amara for brunch. Each time I mentioned another woman, Heather's panic grew. She tried to sabotage me, even calling the farmer's market to ask about her boyfriend Garrett meeting someone there. But the women I met were genuine, interesting, and actually wanted to spend time with me. They asked about my life, my interests, and treated me like a person instead of a placeholder. By the following week, Heather's desperation turned into manipulation. She called her mother to tell her I was having a breakdown. Her mom tried to intervene, saying Heather loved me. I told her flatly that Heather loved having someone who paid half the rent and didn't call her out on her behavior. The final straw came when I came home to an intervention, staged by Heather, Melissa, and a few friends. They accused me of humiliating Heather by using dating apps while still living with her. I pulled out my phone and showed them my match count, 216. I told them that seemed like a lot of women who thought I was a catch. 2 days later, I signed a lease on a new apartment recommended by Valerie. On moving day, Heather tried tears, anger, and bargaining. She told me I'd be back because those app girls just want attention. Right then, Sophie texted wishing me good luck with the move and offering to help organize. I smiled, knowing that at least she wanted to give attention too, not just take it. As I loaded the last box into the truck, I told Heather that she had been right. I was lucky. Lucky to finally see how little she valued me. Lucky to realize I deserved better. Lucky to find out that I was a catch after all. Then I walked away without looking back. In my new place, I started living again. Sophie brought me a plant, Valerie brought wine, Emma sent pizza, and Amara invited me to band practice. I wasn't dating any of them exclusively, but I was enjoying the freedom of being around people who appreciated me. I picked up my guitar again, went hiking, and laughed without worrying if someone would mock me for it. Heather still texts sometimes, switching between, "I miss you," and "you're an ass." But her words don't carry weight anymore. Melissa broke up with Todd because he took my side, and the friend group fell apart when they realized nobody actually liked Heather. They just felt sorry for her. Now, every time I think about that night she laughed in my face and said I wasn't a catch, I smile. Because that was the moment I finally stopped accepting scraps and started demanding a feast. And once you realize your worth, you never go back to someone who doesn't see it.